Hey there, and welcome to Houston Real Estate A to Z with Amy Zebra. I'm Amy, your real estate guide, community insider, and proud native Houstonian with almost 15 years experience in the business. Real estate isn't just black and white. It's about people, progress, and possibilities. Whether you're an investor, a builder, or just someone looking for the best this city has to offer, I've got the expert insight, real stories, and fresh perspective to help you make the right moves in both real estate and life. Let's dive in. Hi, my name is Amy Lynch Kolflat, and I'm the Zebra Real Estate Agent and A to Z of Houston Real Estate here. So I'm here with one of my good friends, Miss Ann Tran, and you are a female business owner, and you started your own business, and it's
Albedo's
Albedo's Return
Power Washing.
Power Washing. That is
Yeah.
so powerful.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes.
There's a difference between power washing and pressure washing that many people don't realize.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, right. People use it interchangeably, just thinking they're
Yeah.
the same. And actually, pressure washing is using cold water,
Okay.
where power washing is using hot water.
Whoa.
Right?
Who knew that?
Who knew? No one, unless you get into the whole business. And
Yeah.
just to clarify, we don't use hot water for the most part, not yet. But I chose power washing because I felt like we're doing a lot of things powerfully. We're
Yeah.
washing houses, commercial properties, we're doing everything. So we're a powerful business. Is how
Vent
why.
hoods and kitchens.
Yes.
Yeah.
So now our focus is commercial kitchens, kitchen exhaust cleaning, vent hood cleaning for
Right.
restaurants.
Right. So you've got a lot of that, but also those driveways and the houses and everything needs a good shine
Oh,
sometimes.
for sure. No,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
It's such a, I obviously did my own property first just to practice and kind of see, how that all, like play with the toys and like see results and
Right.
understand chemicals and what to do and what to apply. Learned a lot in the first few months of this business or starting this business. But yes, driveway cleaning, roof washes, soft washes, even gutter cleaning, house washes. I mean, I think people need to know house washes and soft washing is about the same. Right.
Okay.
The difference between pressure washing versus soft washing is that obviously there's not a lot of pressure. And
Because you don't want to cause a problem by hitting it like in the mortar or the brick or
Exactly.
something. Yeah.
Exactly. So if you don't hire an experienced, well knowledgeable pressure washing business, you may end up hiring a kid from high school who's starting his own business, which is great.
Mhm.
But just make sure that they're insured and they know what they're doing, because if they use the wrong nozzle, they can put a groove into your concrete. They could ruin your siding. They can do a lot of
Oh,
bad, especially your
yeah.
plants, right? Like if they're using chemicals to get rid of like the organics, like mold and algae.
Mhm.
That runoff from the roof down could ruin the plants from the chemicals.
Oh,
So it's
no.
good to have people who understand how to mitigate that issue.
Right.
And so, yeah, if you end up going cheap, you're going to find out that you're going to have some other issues.
Right.
And maybe you may get the luck of the draw and find an amazing team and charge you very little too. Will they be in business next year? And if they are, will they charge you the same price? Most likely not.
Yeah.
So
But this is one of the reasons I just adore you, Ann, is because you're very knowledgeable and you do think about all the details. So you got a finance degree from U of
Accounting.
H? Accounting from
Accounting
U of
degree.
H. So yeah,
Yeah.
smart
Great.
cookie.
Thank you. Well,
Yeah.
counting is the language of business. And so
Mhm.
I went back to school as a older student, 27.
Mhm.
My first love was psychology. And so I still love psychology, but not into a career.
Mhm.
And so when I realized I wanted to be an entrepreneur, I was like, what would I need to be a better entrepreneur? What do I need to know to get the advantage by being an entrepreneur? And understanding the language of business, which is numbers, would be a good start. And so
Mhm.
I got into accounting as a late adult after going to school, taking a break, and then realizing what I wanted to do, which is entrepreneurship. I was like, let me go into accounting.
Learn your
And
numbers.
learn my
get it
numbers.
done.
And then I became president of an organization while I was at U of H,
Okay, which was it?
Beta Alpha Psi.
Okay.
It's a co-ed
Sorority,
honorary,
yeah.
it's actually co-ed,
Co-ed.
and it's a business organization
Okay.
for accounting.
Wow.
Yeah. And I became president twice, and I
Okay.
did that with the intention of learning how to be a better leader, learn mentorship skills, delegation skills,
Okay.
just, learning how to lead a team. And I was able to do that for 2 non-consecutive semesters, so 2 different officer groups. And I
Right.
had a great time. I really enjoyed my officer groups. I loved working with the
Mhm.
team, and I loved seeing what we did and what we accomplished.
Yeah.
And so when I graduated, I was like, I want to do that again. But
Yeah.
after I graduated, those next 10 years or so, I just did me. Like I just
Mhm.
kind of floated about life and traveled and figured out what I want to do. So that's how I got into real estate and then went to mortgages.
Real estate and mortgages, yeah, because you were writing some loans, and
Yeah.
that's really cool
As an
as well.
entrepreneur, it's good to real estate investing is really how I got into real estate
Yeah,
and just learning about how numbers work and how that flows. I mean, we
right.
all watch HGTV for a little bit and they break down the numbers and you're like,
Yeah.
I can do that. $50,000
And
and
those
drop
numbers are so off.
Oh, right?
And the timeline, it's sure whatever they're doing cannot be done in a 30-minute show.
No, no. But like, from a number standpoint, I was
Uh-huh.
looking at it, I was like, that makes sense. But
Yeah.
then when I got into it and started like researching the players, I was like,
Mhm.
this is not really the stress level that I want to counter or like want to take on because
Right.
it's stressful.
Oh,
Let's
yeah.
face it. As an investor in real estate, it's
Oh, yeah.
stressful.
Holding costs are real. Yeah,
Yeah. And
absolutely.
there's a plethora of costs to think about. It's not just
Yes.
holding it. It's like everything. And people don't
Right.
even
Well, holding
realize
costs includes all of your appliance, all the utilities being on, the lawn crews, that just all those little
insurance, the
things. Yeah.
maintenance, just taxes, and
The
like the
stuff you don't
realtor
think
fees,
about. Yeah.
the staging fees. Like, oh my God, there's so much, and you're trying to get it off the market. So that's
Right.
why I decided to become a realtor and get my license. 'Cause, like, let me play with y'all. I don't want to be in it, but let me learn how we can help you.
Right.
And so did that, and then like in 2022, I decided to
Mhm.
do mortgages just to help my clients figure out how to get the money in to help them buy homes. I won't go too much into mortgages, but I learned a lot. That was 3 years of learning about the mortgage industry. So I
Yeah.
know more than I want to know.
Right.
So now I'm just kind of like, let me just keep my real estate license because that's always a good tool to have in your back pocket. But now I have the knowledge of mortgages that I can
Mhm.
take with me that I don't need to be involved in.
Yeah.
Right. So I was like, all right, let me step back out of mortgages, but let
But
me
you
stay real
started
estate.
your own business, and this is the highlight, and the reason I asked you on was the Albedo's Return,
Yes.
which
So
I also need you to explain to our viewers what Albedo's Return is.
So last year when I decided I needed to make a change, I decided to pivot out of real estate and I was like, what am I going to do?
Yeah.
And I'm considering all these factors. I was like, I want to get into labor services. And so I've been watching power washing videos, like I'm sure many people do, and I would watch it to the end. So I knew that
It's
it was
so
something. It's
satisfying
completely
watching it
satisfying.
go back and forth,
Oh,
and it's clean at the
oh
end of the day.
yes.
It's like,
Yeah, and I wish a
yeah,
project would end in like 30 seconds, but it doesn't. I know they're
yeah.
on like fast reel, but it's very satisfying. So I was like, let me get into that. And a number of reasons why I want to do power washing, easy
Mhm.
barrier entry, a lot of easy overhead, a lot of things on accounting mindset. And
Right.
so we went into residential first start. So the name, was thinking about what would I name this business, and I didn't want to be like Ann Tran power washing or pressure washing or AT or whatever, right? Like that was just too generic. I wanted
Not
something
A to Z
different.
like Amy Zebra here.
Different. I actually like that. That's pretty. But I asked my buddy, a good friend of mine who was going through the A&M PhD program, construction science program,
Mhm.
and I just asked him like, hey, what's a good name for a pressure washing business? And he instantly just like in an instant second was like, Albedo's Return. And I was like, what does that mean? Right.
Yeah.
And he's like, look it up. And so I looked it up. And the more I processed it, the more I liked it because there was, good marketing potential. It was ambiguous enough that it would
So
start a
what is
conversation.
Albedo's
So
Return?
Albedo, the terminology,
Mhm.
it's to describe the reflection off of a surface coming back to you. So like when a surface is like
Right.
dirty, dingy, the light is going to absorb it. Like darkness absorbs light, right? So
Mhm.
when you remove that darkness or the grime or dirt, the light bounces back again, right?
So
So
it's a reflection.
the reflection.
Albedo's Return is a
So
reflection,
that
basically.
albedo is the terminology used to describe the light reflecting back to you.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what it's talking
That is a cool name.
about. Thank you.
I mean, I love it. It's, yeah,
Yeah.
very creative.
Thank you.
Very,
And
very
again, like it
smart.
was just something so obscure that I knew would be a good conversation starter, or at least hopefully something
Uh-huh.
memorable that people would go, remember that girl with that weird company name? That's
Right.
me.
Yeah. Yeah. Pressure washing, power washing. And I love that you use power instead of pressure. I mean, I
Yes.
think because that's also just indicative of being powerful.
Thank you. Yeah, yeah. I mean, we
Yeah.
could use hot water, but a lot of it we use chemicals as a good help for that.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So residential houses, driveway, and okay, I'm an artist. So one of the things that I think is really cool, you do clean the whole thing, but have you seen where an artist will take a pressure washer or power washer and will just like make cool designs or
Yeah, the
like
stenciling and
stenciling?
to do guerrilla marketing or what's it
Yeah,
not.
have you done that?
No, I've not. And I mean, I think it's great. I get people
Yeah.
forwarding me those videos all the time. And I love it. I appreciate it. But at the end of the day, when I think about, because I'm the
Mhm.
kind of person who just thinks about those details, in order to do something like that, we would need
Right.
like a water source, a portable pressure washer, and somebody who could just jump out, spray it down, and like advertise.
Yeah.
And to do artwork in itself, that's something we don't have the time to do, right?
Right.
So,
I'm thinking stenciling. Stenciling would make sense. But
yeah.
like if we had a zebra stencil, we could like do the driveway. So all my zebra
Yeah.
cars could be on a zebra driveway. That'd be fun.
But we
We'll
could
have
definitely
to
do that, but that means your driveway's dirty, and our goal is to get it
get it
clean
clean.
again.
You're like, yes, but the black stripes are dirt.
Yeah, I mean, our goal is to remove it all, right? So, I think I've seen some other companies, what
Yeah.
they'll do is they'll stencil the driveway with their company first, and then they'll go about doing what they need to do, right?
Hmm.
Like, doing the soft washing, roof washing, like, the fences, chemicals, but then they'll have to remove it anyways down the road, like,
Yeah.
as they're working on it.
And then as they leave, they
Yeah, and,
back out
we
over
also have
it.
to think about it like it's a lot of big setup. Like pressure washing
Yeah.
is, you gotta set the water, the hoses, the chemicals, the machine itself.
Hmm.
I getting into the business, I've learned a lot about engineering, the mechanics of a power washer and how to use. I've learned how to maintain hoses and nozzles and guns and wands. I've been a chemist. I've learned what kind of ratio is needed for killing certain organics, whether
Yeah.
it's heavy or medium or light. I've learned about how to protect your plants and what to
Right.
do in order to mitigate those tools and solutions in order to protect your property.
That's amazing.
There's so much to think about, right? And
Yeah.
if you're not hiring the right people, you could have like your electricity blown out because they're not covering sockets and covering your electronics. There's just a lot of things to think about. And then added detail is like how to post treat it so that you're
Right.
not getting the algae and mold back so soon. Like you'll
Right.
always get mold and algae and dirt to
It
return.
happens.
It
Yeah.
happens.
Pollen falls,
Yeah.
things,
But how
occur.
often, right? Do you want it
Right.
done in the next 6 months or next year?
Yeah. So is power washing your house something you recommend annually then?
I'm not here to, yeah, if you want a clean surface
You're
for
like, yeah.
Thanksgiving and Christmas, sure, call me. But, I'm not here to dictate, your schedule, your income, your expenses, and all that stuff. My thoughts is if it's dirty, if you're seeing mold on your siding and your roof,
Right.
it's time to call somebody. And you don't want to wait for HOA to like tell you that, hey, this is something you need to work on.
Right.
Just get it done once a year. It probably it's quicker for us to get it done more often if you maintain it. That way we
Hmm.
don't have to spend so much time letting the
Well,
chemical
and it's gonna
dwell.
make the paint last longer and all those things
Yes.
when you
Maintain your property,
yeah.
curb appeal, all that stuff.
The flippers are out there just painting all the brick white with black trim, all that stuff. And as you drive by the houses that have been there a couple years now, I'm starting to see, I was like, because the painting the brick is just creates maintenance. I find it a horrible habit, but they do it. And then you like, now you've got to go back and paint it all the time. But they definitely need to be pressure washing it
Yeah.
because you can see the black and the
The
mold behind
mold,
the
algae,
bushes
yeah.
and stuff it's just grimy. Those
Yeah.
pretty white houses are now
They're my favorite.
they're dinging out. Are they your favorite?
And I just love seeing instant gratification, right? Like,
Oh,
it's dirty, it's clean now, right? Like
oh,
I did
cleaning
that.
it.
Yeah. No, I love when I see a dirty driveway and dirty side, I'm just like, yeah, let's get on this. I get like, super excited
Right?
about a dirty home.
Oh,
So
that's
yeah.
so cool. Yeah, because you're like, I'm gonna clean it all.
Well, yeah, and then you go into a zone and you get your surface cleaner out and you start, doing your thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a definitely 180 or 360 or however you want to describe it from being a realtor to going to labor services and running my own business. And I definitely
Mhm.
love the transition from wanting to look pretty and heels and then going to just like no makeup, flats, and just wearing what I woke up in a sense, right? And like, let's get
Yeah.
this job done.
I'm gonna go
Um,
get water and dirty and clean
yeah,
this.
it's
Yeah.
like being a kid playing in the mud, playing in the
Yeah.
sandbox and, going up for recess. But now I get like really adult, like a heavy duty adult toys in a sense, right? To like play
Right.
with. And then I've got a team I get to work with and they like working with me, I hope. I like working with
Well,
them.
I'm sure they do.
Yeah, yeah, I like working with them. And yeah, I've learned a lot. I'm in my 40s now, and over the last 20 plus years, I've observed other operators and how they operate
Right.
and how would I operate when I start running my own business. And so now that I'm in it, I'm able to exercise that. And I find it very empowering, very liberating, and enjoyable.
Yeah.
Because
I'm so proud.
oh,
I'm
thank
so proud
you.
of you. I mean, I think you're doing a great job.
Thank you. It's weird
Uh-huh.
and exhilarating. Or not exhilarating is the right word, but working in a being in a man-dominated field, a male-dominated field,
Mhm.
and trying to figure out how I fit,
Right.
right? Which is, initially that's what I was thinking, but now I've learned that that's not the way to think about it
Yeah.
because what I'm going to be doing is different than what these guys do,
Yeah.
right? And people talk to me about or ask me about why or this and that. And I go, the competition. There's tons of competition in pressure washing,
Mhm.
but the goal is to differentiate yourself from the competition.
Right.
There's always going to be grime, algae, mold. So even if someone went with one company one year, it's not doesn't mean they won't go with me the next year, right? So at the end of the day, it's about perseverance,
Mhm.
consistency, being a problem solver, and just being flexible to go, handle the punches and
Right.
navigate the weird journey, I guess.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
yeah, it's been fun doing it my way in a sense, also incorporating other people's way, but
Mhm.
seeing how other ways work.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, so, you've been doing it several years now, just
I've
one
been at it for a year and a half. I
a year
started
and
this
a
business a
half,
year and a half ago. Like, well, I started last year. We're in
and
like month
you
18, 19 now.
and you've got crews that you're working with and
I've got
calling all
guys.
the time.
Yeah, I've got
Yeah.
guys I work with. I'm mindful about my expenses. Having an accounting background makes me be
Mhm.
mindful about what money comes in and what goes out.
Mhm.
So I've noticed other operators are so gung ho about hiring a full time employee, and I'm like, that's not unless you're got steady income coming in or got someone who back you, then
Right.
great, get a full time employee. But just keep in
Right.
mind now you got to pay your payroll taxes. You got to make sure he gets paid every week or every 2 weeks. You got to keep
Right.
him busy.
Yeah.
So which means on top of that, you got to manage him and manage your own marketing, your own sales, your own whatever.
Right.
So right now, being that I'm still scaling up, I'm still early in this business. I've got my good guys that I rely on and I
Mhm.
call on them. I respect them as much as they respect me. And so I make sure I reach out to them and give them plenty of time to make a decision about whether
Right.
they're available. And then usually they'll make it work. And then
Mhm.
we do the job. We're excited. And yeah. And then the goal is to be so busy
Mhm.
every day that these guys have something to do every day. And with all that being said, my purpose for this business, the reason why I went down this road wasn't just to have my own business, but it was more so to have a vehicle in a sense to provide
Mhm.
jobs for the people around me, for my community.
Yeah.
So when it comes to labor or
That's awesome.
services, like you don't need a high level degree in order to do what I'm asking to need me to do or need
Right.
people to do. They just need to have someone who they can trust and who's someone they can rely on, who knows what they're doing.
Right.
And if I can rely on them, then I'll take care of them and I'll continue to pull out jobs for them so they
Mhm.
continue to make money and help provide for their family.
Right.
And so if they and when they can keep the operation running smoothly, then I can step back and focus on other things too. And
Yeah.
then the goal is to keep providing or coming up with ideas to provide jobs for the community. So I definitely have some more ideas in the background coming up.
That's awesome. I
Yeah.
can't wait to see what you come up with next.
Hey.
So you have transitioned. You not only do residential, but commercial. So talk about restaurants because
Oh,
they have vent hoods.
so yeah, I
Yeah.
started off with residential because
Uh-huh.
it's easy. We all see residential videos, and then I got introduced to a gentleman who introduced me to vent hood cleaning. Never heard about it. If you asked me 2 years ago, and you ever heard of vent hood cleaning, I'm like, no. Let's talk about something different.
Yeah, but that does have to happen. And the
And
same restaurant's going to call you back twice
yeah.
a year or
Well, no,
once a
it's actually so
quarter.
what I've learned, the reason why I decided to
Hmm.
dabble in this, it was nighttime work mostly because it has to be done when the operations close.
Right.
It's something that has to be done. It has to be done quarterly or every 6 months, depending on how busy you are.
Right. Because it's
Um,
the grease. And
it's a lot of the grease, so
yeah.
and it's super crucial for operation because or for restaurant because it's what prevents grease fires from happening.
Hmm.
So if you want to protect your property, your business, the people who patron your business, definitely make sure
Right.
you're maintaining your grease vent hoods.
Well,
Uh,
and the health inspector's going to come in and tag you if it's not done
yes,
too.
yes.
I mean, it's a thing.
That's a whole nother, thing to think about
Yeah.
because we're all human. We're not always thorough. We don't all know what to look for.
Right.
And so I have encountered restaurants who have had their maintenance done, every 3 months or so. And then when I go inspect, it hasn't been done. So,
You're like, yeah, no, yeah, that's not right.
there's so much more than just like the hood
Mhm.
itself. There's the ductwork. There's I've learned so much about exhaust fans too.
Right.
Like inline units, PCU unit, pollution control units, and then of course your regular upblast system. And so yeah, like I lost my train of thought a little bit, but it was just such a lucrative or a what's the word I'm looking for? It was a no-brainer to get into this business
Right.
considering everything that was happening. And yeah, so that was my focus. Now I help commercial kitchens, whether it be
Right.
restaurants, assisted living or businesses, schools, hospitals, whoever
Right.
has a vent hood because they're
A
cooking
commercial
grease,
kitchen.
commercial kitchen, we
Yeah.
can help. We can help you there, right?
That's awesome.
Yeah. And then with my accounting background,
Mhm.
I can help you with your numbers. That way
Mhm.
you're not just getting one straight AI number or bot person telling you this is what
Right.
we do, right? Let's work with your numbers. Let me help you make sure you're maintaining yourself, your business, making sure everything's safe. And then also because we're small
Mhm.
local, I want to help you market your business. So
Yeah.
you won't get that from other companies. Like I want to bring you on as on the family, the Albedo's Return family, and help you market your business because when we help you bring traffic to your business, and if you're staying in business, that means you stay in business. So let me work with us so we can provide you another value,
Yeah.
which is on not only just keeping you safe and clean and compliant, but also bringing business to you as well,
Right.
so that you stay in business while we're going through some insecure times.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Yeah. That is such a good way to look at it.
mm.
Partnership with your customers.
Yeah, be a
Yeah.
one-stop shop, whether it be your vent hoods, your
Mhm.
dumpster pads, or even your exterior pressure washing, your
Right.
patios, your drive-throughs, your parking lots. Let's just instead of calling multiple people, just call me. Like
One-stop shop.
one-stop shop, and let's talk about it. It's not gonna be like a menu where you
Mhm.
just click, and then that's your total. Let's talk about it.
Right.
And
Because maybe things happen phased.
yes,
Yeah, you can
yes,
definitely phase it so that the restaurant doesn't take that big of a hit,
yeah,
but they still get to have everything,
yeah, exactly.
look good because it's got to be somewhere you want to eat.
Another
It's got to be clean.
Exactly, and
Yeah.
we don't wanna be eating on a patio and then smell the dumpster, not like, even though it's empty, you still smell like, the
Yeah.
dumpster pad because it hasn't
Yeah.
been sanitized. Another thing I also offer for my clients, being a small local business, is a monthly maintenance subscription payment
Hmm.
plan in a sense, right? So, instead of paying every 3 months a big chunk for your kitchen exhaust cleaning,
Right.
let's, go into a contract. Let's like add up all of the costs for your cleanings and then divide it by the number of months, we're going to be in contract for.
Right.
Normally for a year, 15 months. And
Right.
normally you're paying every month instead of,
So that's brilliant.
yeah,
Okay, I love this thought because now you're gonna be able to come in and you just call them and say, "Hey, it's time to schedule your quarterly thing.
yeah.
When do you want us to come by?"
Not even
Yeah.
when. Like, hey, we were here 3 months ago at this time, this date. We're coming back this time, this date, every 90 days.
Yeah.
And, they are, welcome to say, hey, not this day. Let's do it tomorrow or the earlier. But I've learned that most operators don't want to fuss about this.
They don't want to think about it.
They don't. And they want someone who's reliable, consistent, say, hey, we're coming in. Get ready for
Yeah,
us. That's it.
is what we're
And
doing.
then, they pay me on a
Mhm.
monthly or whatever by service and everyone's happy, right? And my
Yeah.
goal is to make sure that you guys stay in business, you guys are safe and clean and compliant, and that these expenses that you have to have
Right.
are not stressing you out or putting you out of business. Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So brilliant. So,
Thank
Ann,
you.
thank you so much for coming out today. I
Thanks for
think
having me.
we did a good like 20 minutes or
Okay.
something. And I'm
Oh,
so
good.
excited for you to be on the podcast. And I can't wait to have you out to like freshen up some of my listings.
Oh, yeah, definitely. That'd be
Yes.
great.
Yes. Refer that over to my
Oh,
clients
yeah,
because it's
yeah.
so nice. And I do commercial as well. So, there are some
Yes.
commercial kitchens out there that I go in and I'm like, ooh, when was the last time y'all did anything in here?
Oh,
Yeah.
another thing to be mindful or to think about is that when it comes to kitchen exhaust cleaning, the current mindset about kitchen exhaust cleaner or vent hood cleaning is that it's a janitorial business.
Right.
There's not quite a lot of respect that's given to this realm in this industry. And what I'd like to do is
It's
change that.
tools and
We are fire prevention
chemical.
experts at the end of the day,
Yeah.
right? So we are there to help prevent fires and make sure
Uh-huh.
your kitchen's in compliance and
Right.
that you also have a working kitchen that everyone is happy to be in and safe.
Wow.
And so I think I
Hmm.
like to push and influence more operators to think about kitchen exhaust cleaning more top of mind and be more involved in it because I call it the lungs of your business. And
Hmm.
if your lungs have bronchitis or cancer or whatever that's causing it hard for you to breathe,
Oh.
then imagine your kitchen. So you're looking at, smoky environments, greasy floors,
Hmm.
the smell of food still lingering. That's the sign that your exhaust system is not working properly or
It's
your
not
lungs.
breathing.
Yeah, it's not breathing.
Yeah.
So let me come in. Let me clean it out for you.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Thank
Well, thank you so much for coming out, Miss Ann
Thanks for
Tran
having
of
me.
Albedo's Return Power Washing. So powerful. And thanks for coming on to the A to Z of Houston real estate with Amy Zebra. And thanks for tuning in, guys. See you soon.
Thank you.
Thanks for hanging out with me on Houston Real Estate A to Z with Amy Zebra. I hope you found something valuable for your real estate journey today. And don't forget to follow, subscribe, and share this show because everyone deserves to know about the A to Z